What's up? I wanted to talk to you today about how to gain greater control of both the left and right hand so that you can actually do what you want to do, as in make the guitar sound like how you want it to sound in your head. So, one of the basics of maintaining the coordination in the hands and the connection between the brain and the hands is keeping your hands posture, maintaining posture of your hands, like as if, for example, a soldier is standing up straight and they're maintaining their posture so that they can carry out all their techniques or whatever. And it's the same thing with the hands. If you maintain the correct general posture of the hands, then you will be able to have greater dexterity and coordination with the fingers. So with the fretting hand, the general main posture is kind of like this, where you make this shadow puppet kind of shape, and then you just put it on the neck like that, and then it should be on, your thumb should be back here like that, and it should be all not like this, not with the fingers tilted that way or slanted that way, just straight like this. And then with the right hand, you want to put it on, rest the guitar on like the middle of the forearm, depending on your forearm length. But I remember a rule that my guitar teacher told me is like a little orange sized arch right here. So have an arch here where you can have, and then have the forearm firmly stabilized there. And then have an arch that's not too big, not like that, not flat like that, just like a little arch here. And then keep that stable so you can have the maximum coordination of the fingers. And so, the main purpose of these postures for both hands is generally to stabilize the hand itself. With the fretting hand, you're anchoring the thumb onto the back of the neck, and then that helps to stabilize the entire hand so that the fingers can move with more precision and accuracy without being hindered by like a floppy hand. It's the same idea here in the picking hand, with this forearm firmly stabilized onto the body, then in your hand just kind of like hanging down at this relaxed angle allows for a certain amount of stiffness of the wrist and the hand, which lets you be more fluid on the picking fingers, because same idea, you're not having an unstable base where the hand is just going all over the place, and you're more accurate. That way you're more accurate. Now, I recently started training a martial art for about 7 months ago, and I've been doing it rather consistently, and this might come as a surprise, but what things that I've learned during martial arts have translated over directly into the guitar. One of the main concepts that has heavily translated over from martial arts to the guitar is the concept of using the eyeballs to focus your energy and focus your attention. I noticed that it's better that when hitting, for example, hitting the heavy bag, I look where I hit the bag, and then that allows me to strike with greater precision at a certain target. Additionally, looking at my path of travel for a strike allows me to greater focus my energy into the exact point I want. And it's a similar thing with guitar, using the eyes to look where you would like to go, and using the eyes to where you want to direct your energy towards is kind of a link between the brain and the body. That's in terms of executing motor movements, motor functions. When it comes to an additional aspect of the brain and body connection, which is maintaining stasis or keeping calm, that comes from the breath. And then, so just keeping the breathing steady. And it's kind of interesting how similar these concepts are from guitar over to athletics, because this is something that you'll hear in combat sport and just like sports in general and in motion stuff, like controlling your breath, or even like lifting weights, for example. Like you lift up on the contracting motion, and then or sorry, for example, like when you're squatting, go down and then breathe in, and then when you come up, it's like after the contraction, when you loosening the muscle, when you expanding or lengthening the muscle, and you breathe out to either like push or pull. But it's basically using the breath as a way to exert energy, and also the steady breathing that is important for sports is what helps keep the nervous system calm, and that's what allows you to more direct your movements, just remaining calm even while you're playing the guitar. Because sometimes I find that like I get super kind of excited or something, and either like anxious excitement, or like a good excitement when I'm playing, and so that can cause me to lose my posture, like my hand goes kind of like this or something, or either that, or maybe my fingers get too tensed up. And so there is kind of like that balancing act game of like keeping your composure but also staying relaxed, and that's through the breath. And back to the what I was talking about with the eyes, using the eyes as a means of directing energy. I found that you don't, while using the eyes to look where you want to go and stuff is definitely something I found useful. At the same time, you don't want to look too hard in any one spot for too long. You kind of want to keep your eyes moving, and unless you actually need them, then keep them relatively unfocused, but still looking in the general direction of the guitar and the hands. Because I found that once you focus too much on one single spot, that's where you get like the tense up, try to get like mired up in the details, and it's like you get back inside your head. So that's kind of another thing, like the eyes relax, you just look where you want to go when you want it, and using the eyes as a means of anticipating the next fretting pattern, because you have to always be kind of looking ahead when it comes to music, and you can use your eyes to direct your forward thinking. I can look at the place that I'm gonna put my finger, and then it helps me just kind of maintain that flow state.